Okay, we are on Yudam Beis, Chodesh Tov. Should be a Chodesh Epa Meyogol Simcha. That we find in Purim. Remember, today is the Yortzeit Ma'aron HaKohen. Remember, we hope everybody's increasing in their Ava, the Achva, the Shalom V'Rayut. That's what Aaron HaKohen is all about. So today's the day. People to be, I hope everybody should use it as an idea, a day of peace. Good excuse to make peace today is using Aaron HaKohen's, you don't need an excuse to make peace, but use Aaron HaKohen's Yortzeit as a catalyst to inspire people to make up, families to make up, friends to make up, and the month of Av, which is the time when the base of Mikdash was destroyed because of Sinat Chinam. Let's use it as a time of increase of Ahavat Chinam among the Jewish community. Yesterday we were saying the Gemara had a question. The discussion of yesterday's Gemara was when a person kills, and after he kills, immediately after he kills, he runs to the Ori Mikla, he runs to the cities of refuge, or after the court renders a decision that he's guilty of exile, he's obligated exile, and he runs to the city of refuge. Does the Gol Hadam, if the Gol Hadam would kill him at that point, would the Gol Hadam be responsible for murder? We know the Gol Hadam could kill him. Only question is, when is the Gol Hadam? We know the Gol Hadam could kill him. That's the Mishnah later on that says that the Gol Hadam, the relative, could, if he has either a right to kill him or has a mitzvah to kill him. And the Bach points out that's talking when the person who killed unintentionally violated his sentencing. He was sentenced to exile and he stepped out of exile. That's where the Gol Hadam has a right or a mitzvah. But when he did not yet reach the exile, when he's on the way running to the exile, there it would seem it's forbidden for the Gol Hadam to kill the Rotzeach, the one who killed unintentionally. And if he goes, and if we would warn him, and we tell the Gol Hadam, don't kill him, that's our discussion of our Gemara. Would the Gol Hadam, the relative, be subject himself to capital punishment for violating the warning? Or if he violates the warning, he will not get killed for it. So that is the discussion of the Gemara. So it says right. So it says patur. So one opinion is he's patur if he goes ahead, and that seems to be the halacha, that if he goes ahead and he kills when the guy is running to exile, even though he should not have killed him, he will be exempt from. The Gol Hadam will be patur, will be exempt from getting killed from the court. But patur doesn't mean mutar. It still was forbidden for him to do that because the guy killed unintentionally. He's not deserving of death. But yet the Torah will exempt the Gol Hadam under such conditions that he avenged the blood of his brother, of his relative. So the Torah will exempt him from. We won't kill him the way we would kill someone else who killed somebody. And the other opinion is no, we will actually kill him if he kills at that point. That's only Rav Huna says patur. Patur is one rabbi. That's Rav Huna. But the other rabbi, we found a Breita that says that the only one who doesn't have a mishpat mavet would be the Rotzeach, but not the Gol Hadam. The Gol Hadam would be subject to murder. And therefore, based on that, the Gemara had a question. When the Gemara wanted to support that opinion, because it says that two Talmidei Chachamim escort the Rotzeach, the one who killed unintentionally, two Torah scholars escort him to the Ori Miklat. What's the purpose of them escorting him? So the Gemara wanted to suggest originally, perhaps the reason is to warn the Gol Hadam. that if you kill this Rotzeach, you kill this person who killed unintentionally, you, the Gol Adam, will get killed. That's what the Gemara thought, that the purpose of those Talmid HaChachamim were. And therefore, that would indicate that the Gol Adam would be subject to be killed if he would kill this person on his way to exile. So V'lo ein mishpat mavet would refer to the original Rotzeach. The original person who killed is not deserving of death. We need to prepare the Ari Miklat because he's not deserving of death. And therefore we have to protect him from the Gol Adam who might be so hot and hot-headed, and he's going to kill him even though the guy is not deserving of death. So therefore we need to make sure we have everything in place, proper cities of refuge, with proper signs, with proper everything, in order to ensure that the Gol Adam will not kill, that they won't kill this guy, because this guy is not deserving of death. V'lo ein mishpat mavet. He's not deserving of death. He will, if he kills him, he would be chayav. According to that reading of the pasuk, since he's not deserving of death, so if the Gol Adam would kill him, the Gol Adam would be chayav. And therefore we are very concerned. We don't want innocent blood, so to speak, to be shed. So because he's not deserving of death. So that's what the Gemara said. So the Gemara said, no, the purpose of the Talmid HaChachamim were to tell the guy to calm down. Their purpose wasn't to warn him that if you go ahead and you kill him, the Gol Adam is going to get killed. Rather, it's to tell the Gol Adam, don't treat him like a murderer, don't kill him. But if the Gol Adam would actually not listen and kill the guy, the Gol Adam will not be subject to murder. What? Like Rav Huna. Right. That's how the Gemara wanted to explain that it's not a contradiction of Rav Huna. Now, then the Gemara, yes. The purpose of the sign is we want to make it. The purpose of the sign is to make it easy for the guy who killed unintentionally to get to exile. And the Torah is saying, why should we be so concerned? Why should we go out of our way to make it Mona Yosef Tzadik Chodesh Tov? Why should we go out of our way to make sure there's no bumps on the road and all these things, and make bridges, and because we don't want him to get killed. We don't want the person who killed unintentionally to get killed because he's not deserving of death. V'lo ein mishpat mavet, according to, it depends. Either v'lo ein mishpat mavet is because he's not deserving of death, and therefore we don't want him to get killed, or since the Gol Adam will not get killed if the Gol Adam kills him, so we're afraid the Gol Adam is going to come after him. Because v'lo ein mishpat mavet, since the Gol Adam will not get killed if he comes after him, so therefore we want to make sure that he should get to the city of refuge. Now, yesterday, the last Gemara we were learning, we were talking about one of the Talmid HaChacham tell the guy, they tell him he killed unintentionally. So the Gemara had a question. Of course, he killed unintentionally. That's why he's running to exile. What do you think is? So the Gemara said, obviously, if he's running to exile, he killed unintentionally. The Gemara says no. The Gemara brought a Mishnah that says, the Tchilah. You look at the Gemara, look back at that Gemara. The Gemara says, we are on Yudam Beis. The Gemara says, V'hatanya, right? The Gemara says V'hatanya on the base. Dr. Navid, you have it in the middle of the page? Because the Gemara is the question. Amamar. If you go back one line, Bishkaga Mamasiliyodo, we say it came to him, Bishkaga. It came to him unintentionally. So the Gemara says, Pshita. Of course, why are the Torah scholars saying that it happened unintentionally? They even made it Bar Golutu. They made it Bar Golutu. If it happened to Mazid, if it happened intentionally, would he go to exile? They have to tell him, by the way, it happened unintentionally. Of course it happened unintentionally. He's running to Galut. So he's running to Galut. People only run to Galut if it was unintentional. So the Gemara says, no, yes. People do go to Galut even when it's intentional. And therefore, there's a need for the Torah scholars to tell the Gol Adam, the relative, that don't kill him. It was done b'shogeg. Because when the relative sees this guy killed his relative and he's running to exile, he's on the run. The relative doesn't know, the Gol Adam doesn't know, is it he's on the run because he did it intentionally and he's running to exile, or he did it unintentionally? Why would he run to exile if he did it intentionally? Because the Gemara says, the Gemara says, B'tchila. Everyone have in the Gemara? Right, they told him, they said, Amamar, the first word around is Liyodo. Dr. Navid, you have it? Bishkaga, unintentionally, said this action, this story happened, it came to his hand unintentionally. They can't go like them. Don't treat him like a murderer. He did it unintentionally. So the Gemara asked, Shita, it's obvious that he did it unintentionally. The even Mezid, if he did it intentionally, Bar Golutu, would he be obligated? Would he go to exile? If he's running to exile, it's obvious he's running to exile because he did it unintentionally. So the Gemara says, good morning, Ariel. Chodesh Tov. So the Gemara says, yes, even the one who kills unintentionally would run to exile. By the way, this week's parasha is one that talks about Ari Miklat. You're going to appreciate the parasha very much this week. Hopefully, preach every week, but you'll feel more connected to it because you're learning about it. Yeah. The Gemara says, Vatanya, we learned in the Braita, because that's what we learned in the Braita. Vatanya, this is what we learned in the Braita. This concept, we are on 10b. The article is 10b3. Right column, top right column. So the Gemara says, B'tchila, in the beginning, we have Vatanya, we learned in the Braita. Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda Omer. Rabbi Yossi, the son of Yehuda, says, B'tchila, in the beginning, Echad Shogei, Echad Mezid, Magdimim L'Ori Miklat. In the beginning, everybody, bless you, who would kill, whether they killed intentionally, whether it was intentional. Echad shogeg, echad mezid, magdimim. They go l'ori miklat. They all run to ori miklat. Ubezdin sholchim, and Bezdin send, umeviyin otam misham. Bezdin sends from there, sends the people there, and they bring them out for judgment. Mishin et chayev mita, the one who was obligated death, haraguhu. The court would kill him. See, this language of the Gemara, if someone's obligated death, haraguhu, they would kill him. And we spoke about yesterday, who kills him? Is it the court that kills him? Or they give it over to the relative? Because the Gemara brings a pasuk. Shenema, misholchu zikna iro. the elders of the city send, v'lachu alto misham, and they take him from the city of refuge. And if they decided that he's obligated death, v'naknu alto biyad kol adam, they give him over in the hands of the kol adam, v'meit. But these are psukim from Devarim. Our mikla is both in Devarim and over here. And they put him in the hand of the Gol Adam. So some say it means literally the Gol Adam, the relative, is the one who's going to kill him, or with the sword, or this just means that they're following the will of the Gol Adam. In the city that the murder took place. So they had to bring him they brought him out of the Arim Miklat to the court, and you mean this, the way that the pasuk is reading over here? Okay, well, let's look at them. I'm going to get the pasuk out 1 second. Yeah. No Zoom. So let's look at the pasuk that Dr. Navid is focusing on. It says the Perik Yutes pasuk Yud Beis. So it says if somebody hates his friend and lies in ambush for his friend and kills him, and he runs to the cities of refuge. So some understand that means there's a mitzvah. That's what he's supposed to do. The Torah say, what did it say? I mean, it says he killed a friend, meaning a fellow Jew. You're right. He hates him and he calls him a friend, right? But you know what happens sometimes?
Good morning, brother. Good morning.
People that hate a friend. Really, it's a friend, but they hate them. Good morning. Torah says, love your fellow neighbor like yourself. Other people hate. Because our sister says, don't hate your brother. It's your brother. Torah says, don't hate your brother. You're Jew. It's another Jew. It's a brother. Jews are brothers. Torah says, don't hate them. So that's what the pasuk says. If someone hates a fellow Jew, that's called Re'ehu. All Jews are friends. And if someone hates another Jew, and because of the hatred, it led to the what? To the murder. It's the step 1 is the hate, step 2 is the murder. And then he runs to the Arim Miklat. So the question is, we now have a discussion in the Gemara when the Torah says Vinas, he ran. Is it that he runs to the Arim Miklat because that's what he's supposed to do? That's the right thing. The Torah wants every person who kills go to the Arim Miklat. That's it. Until the case is done. Exactly. Right, but he gets that penalty. But the only way he gets a death penalty is the court has to make proceedings and take witnesses. It's a whole process. So until the court actually does those proceedings, would say, or he might be completely off.
By not being present at the court, he's getting away.
He's not with the court. You can't kill the guy. The court can't kill a guy until they have witnesses to verify that he was warned. So he's not away. Now he's gonna run to the Arim Miklat. According to first opinion, he says there's a mitzvah. That's what that's what Torah wants him to do. This is his mitzvah that he has to run to Arim Miklat, and he has to wait there until the court will send for him and go through the proceedings. So the pasuk says, and the elders of the city will send for him, and they will take him from there, and they will give him over to the Gol Adam. So now, the elders of the city, Dr. Navid, is the court, is the Beis Din. So they're taking him. Now, so your question is, it sounds like so they're taking him from the city of refuge. He's not in the court, right? But right. So the way we understand, it seems like they would bring him to the court, then have the case. Even though the language, like you're saying, the language of the verse doesn't emphasize this idea that, morning, Mike, again, I think I said good morning to Mike before, right?
Yes,
They
thank
didn't-
you, Rabbi. Good morning.
they didn't-
Sorry, good
They
morning.
didn't emphasize the court proceeding, but they pointed, they sent him, they sent after him, they brought him to town, then they have the court case about him. So this case of the pasuk, let's see if anybody makes any comments on the commentaries over here. So this case is when he sinned, he killed intentionally. The pasuk says he runs to the city of refuge. So one opinion says that is a mitzvah. That is what he's supposed to do. And even though there's a Mishnah later, there's a Mishnah that we had earlier on the Testament base that mentions Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda says in the beginning, whether he killed unintentionally or intentionally, he runs to the city of refuge. The Gemara here brings a bright that Rabbi Yossi, Rabbi Yehuda says this statement, right? Vatanya, we looked at a brighter. Why does the Gemara bring a brighta when you could bring from the Mishnah? You always bring, when you have an opportunity to bring something, you bring from a stronger point than a weaker point. But Tosfos asked the question. Tosfos said, what did you say?
Why did you mention
Very good. You're onto something, Dr. Navid. The Gemara is proving that there was a concept that people ran to exile first, right? And where does the Gemara show? Meaning they ran to, even the guy who killed intentionally would run to exile. And how does the Gemara show that the guy ran intentionally ran to exile? Where do we find the phenomenon? Because we have a Breita. We have a Breita that says, if Yossi Yehuda says in the Breita, B'tchila, in the beginning, Echad Shogeg, Echad Mezid runs to the Ari Miklat. The Mishnah, look at the Mishnah at the end of Tet Amud Beis. No problem. Tet Amud Beis. See the Mishnah in Tet Amud Beis? The Mishnah says that you go to the end of the Mishnah. See, but Rabbi Yosef Yehuda Omer, B'tchila, Echad Shogeg, Echad Mezid Ari Miklat. And look how the Mishnah continues. Bezin Shochin, and they bring him from there. Like the Mishnah addresses your point, but says that Bezin sends and they bring him. The one who's obligated death, the Bezin will kill. Meaning, the case didn't happen yet. They sent for him, and then they have the court proceedings, and then they make the decisions. So, Tosfos, if you look at the Tosfot, top Tosfot, see the top Tosfot, V'hatanya Rabbi Yosef Yehuda Omer. You have the top Tosfot? And now let's go to Yud Amud Beis. 10b. Everyone got the top Tosfot? Right corner, Ariel, V'hatanya.
Rabbi, I'm sorry
Yes.
to interrupt. What's the question? So
The
now we
question
say,
is,
yeah.
why the Gemara is proving, the Gemara had a question. Why do the Talmid Chacham have to tell the guy, have to tell the relative, he did it unintentionally? It's obvious. If the guy's running to exile, the people who went to exile is when they kill unintentionally. And the Gemara says, to that the Gemara brings a Breita that says that even at morning, even that there's a minyan at 7:30 upstairs, and we have learning here until 7:25. Yeah, 7:30, yes. Welcome. And the Gemara says that people who killed intentionally would also run to exile. And we're going to find, the Gemara is going to bring a Breita that says that there is two opinions on the deal. Maybe one of the two opinions, we'll look in the Breita. The Breita says, look at the Breita in the Gemara, then we'll get to the Tosfot. Vatanya, we learned in the Breita, Echad Shogeg, Echad Mezid, back to the Gemara, Makdim L'Ari Miklat. Ubezdin Shochin Umavin Oto Misham. And Bezdin sends and brings them from there. Mishet Chayam Mita, the one who's obligated death, meaning now we have the court proceedings. The one who's obligated Harguhu, the Bezdin will kill him. Shenema, V'sholchu Zikna Iro, V'lochu Oso Misham, V'notnu Oso B'yad Gol Adam V'meit. the elders of the city, the Bezdin will send, and they'll bring him and they'll give him over that he should be killed. If the court decided that he's obligated death, we're going to kill the murderer. If the person was not obligated death, if the court decided that this guy who killed is not obligated death, it was unintentionally, and not only it was unintentionally, let's say it was even an ones, it was total accident. Putruhu, they would exempt him. They would let him go home. But Shenema, this is this week's parsha. They will save him miyad gol adam. The Eidah is the court. They would save him from the gol adam. With me in the Gemara, Mr. Safdie. They would save him from the gol adam because he's innocent. The guy who was obligated exile, we send him back to exile. Because he originally, after he committed the murder, he ran to exile. We took him out of exile to bring him to the court where the city where the murder took place. And if they found him guilty of exile, we send him back to exile with the 2 Torah scholars to accompany him. If they see the Gol Adam, they'll discourage him from killing him. Shenema, Veshiva Oto, Ha'ida, they send him El Im Miklato they return him to Im Miklato Hashem Nashama, that he to the place that he originally ran to before. Now you could see Veshiva Oto Ha'ida. Ha'ida is like the court that they return him, they send him back, they give him accompaniment with people to accompany him. Now, Rebbe holds, me'atzman hengolim. Rebbe says there's no idea, there's no mitzvah that the guy who kills intentionally should also run to exile. Rather, kesvurin hein, they are of the opinion, the people think, echad shogeg, echad mezid kolto. People think that if you run to the city of refuge and whether you killed intentionally, unintentionally, they think that they'll be safe. Now, what does that mean? Because when we say people kill intentionally, run to the city of refuge, it's not just talking about the people that kill with warning, with witnesses. A guy who killed without warning, he thinks he runs to the city of refuge, he'll be safe. Because the court can't kill him because there's no warning. So he thinks he's going to be safe. He's going to run to Orim Miklat. He thinks he's going to be safe. But the answer is he's not safe. If a guy killed without warning, he runs to the city of refuge, he's not safe. Because the city of refuge will not help such a person. Because city of refuge is not designed for a person who killed intentionally without a warning. It doesn't do anything. It's like he's not in the city of refuge. It has no protection. So if the Gol Adam kills him, the Gol Adam will be, the Rambam writes in Hilchos Rotzeach, the Rambam says if a person killed unintentionally, but it was close to intentionally, grossly, meaning 2 cases. 1 case he killed intentionally with no warning, but it carries even a lower level case. He killed unintentionally, but it was close to intentionally, meaning you were like so negligent. I didn't mean to kill the guy. You know the guy's standing there. You know the axe is, you know the handle, the metal is loose. You know that, and you're throwing and you're chopping wood in the direction of the other guy. And you know the metal could fall off any moment. You know it's on its way. But you weren't, and you know what happened? And it fell off and hit the guy. You don't go to exile for that. Exile is not going to help you. You were so negligent. You're going down a ladder, and you know the guy there's a baby on the floor on the bottom by there, and you know the rungs, the steps on the ladder are so loose they could break any moment. And then you went down the ladder and you fell and you killed the baby. Exile is not. There's no exile for that. Exile is not enough of a punishment. Exile doesn't work. You were grossly negligent, or the Rambam says, something that was like an area or something you should have been careful. And and the law was that you're not going to exile because it was close to intentional, because the sin is too serious for exile to atone, because exile will only help for people who are obligated exile. This guy is not obligated exile because the sin is more deserving than exile. Therefore, if the Gol Adam finds him anywhere and kills him, the Gol Adam will be patur. Now, it doesn't mean the Gol Adam should, the Rambam's language does not say that the Gol Adam should kill him, because at the end of the day, he didn't intend to kill the other guy. It was grossly negligent, but if the Gol Adam kills him, even in the city of refuge, the Gol Adam will be what? Exempt. So what is this guy supposed to do, the Rambam says? The guy who was grossly negligent, who going to exile won't save him, what should he do? He should watch himself from the Gol Adam. Watch out, because the Gol Adam, that relative, if the Gol Adam kills him, the Gol Adam will get away with it. Meaning the court won't kill the Gol Adam. So we should watch him. And the Rambam says, similarly, anybody who killed and there was one witness or without any warning, if the Gol Adam kills him, the Gol Adam will not get killed for it. Right? It makes it, you know what? That guy is deserving of it. Meaning, what? Meaning, you're right. He'll not. You know what? What do they say? One second. You know the expression? You sleep in the bed that you make. You ever heard that expression? The way you make the bed, that's what it looks like. Right, Mike? You heard that expression? A person sleeps in the bed that you make. The way you make your bed, that's how how comfortable to sleep in
Morocco,
your bed.
we didn't have this expression, Rabbi.
I know, it's in Morocco, but this is an American expression. I don't even know that they use it anymore, even in America. Yeah, he wants to be, Ariel wants the bed from Miami back here. Right. The point is that people are running to exile. Who's running to exile? People who killed unintentionally, people who killed intentionally, but there was only no warning, people that are killed intentionally with one witness. Now, why are the people who killed intentionally running to exile also? So there's two opinions in the Gemara. One opinion says there's actually a mitzvah that that's where he's supposed to go. That is the law.
Intentionally.
Even intentionally, he needs to run to exile.
Yeah, Rabbi, you think the guy that killed intentionally cares about the mitzvah?
Yeah, you know what? Yeah, he wants to know where is he supposed to be. He knows the court is going to be after him. Good morning, Charles. Chodesh Tov. The court is gonna deal with him. Well, where is he supposed to go in the interim? So he goes to the city of refuge in the interim. That's where, what do you say? Right, he goes to the city of refuge, and really, at that point, the Gol Adam really should not be killing anybody because the court did not yet make a decision. So he goes there. That's the first opinion. The second opinion says he doesn't need to go there. The guy that kills intentionally does not need to go there. But the reason why he goes there is because he thinks that he will be safe. He'll be saved by going to he thinks that Ori Miklat, the city of refuge, will help him also. Meaning to say, he thinks that even though he killed intentionally, but he thinks he thinks maybe the court will give him a ruling that since there was no witnesses, no warning, he thinks that will help
him, Rabbi. It will help him for a certain time. It will help him until the judgment time.
Right. It should help him until the judgment time. But the reason why he's running there also because he thinks that will be he looks at it, he thinks that will be his final destination also, but he won't be his final destination. He won't be safe there. No, because again, according to the second opinion, he thinks that this will be his place of permanent stay. He thinks that he's going to live, just like the guy who kills unintentionally stays there. The court doesn't kill the guy who kills unintentionally. So he thinks he's also going to go ahead and remain there until the Kohen Gadol dies. Because he knows let's say the guy who killed intentionally, but there was no warning. He knows the court's not going to kill him. So he says, I'll run there like everybody else, and I'll stay there until the Kohen Gadol dies. But he doesn't realize that they don't know that Uri Miklat will not save him. That is the reason why he's running there. Just we're going to end with Tosaf's question. This idea of running to exile, even the guy who killed intentionally, initially runs to exile, is based, we found in our Mishnah on the page before. So why would the Gemara bring from a Breita this idea that initially even the guy who kills intentionally would run to exile, when you could bring from a Mishnah, you don't bring from a Breita. The Mishnah is stronger than a Breita. You always bring your stronger card forward. So therefore, that's the Gemara's question. Why? That's Tosaf's question. And to be continued on Monday, and answer. Have a great day. Oh, so by the way, so Tosaf's answer is what Dr. Navid is saying. That the
Rabbi, you said you're
Breita-
going to talk about Tisha B'Av today.
Oh, you're right. Yosef, you're right. Yosef, you're great. So remember, today is Tisha B'Av. It says, Mamatim b'simcha. We're supposed to not do unhappy type of activities, not to go to great adventures today. Not type of place to take these certain type
Not
of trips.
today, Rabbi. Not today. Today,
Not-
Rosh Chodesh.
But it says even Rosh Chodesh, even though it's Rosh Chodesh, but it says Mematim b'simcha. There's certain things that the type of activities that we shouldn't be doing that represent, I would say like going to
Go make your bed, David.
what do you say?
No, sorry. I was like unmute.
No, certain types of activities that are not in sync with the day, the 9 days. So even though I think the Sfardim, by the way, there's a difference of opinion. Some Sfardim have
I
meat
think Rosh
today.
Chodesh, Rabbi. I think Rosh Chodesh we're more lenient than after Rosh Chodesh. It starts.
Right. I think you're more lenient regarding meat today. You have meat today. As many, the Moroccans, somebody told me it might not have meat today. I heard someone said, I don't know if the Moroccans have meat
Is
today.
today including last night?
Today's including last night. It's Rosh Chodesh. You have to find out. You have to
So I
find out
think
what the
okay.
minhag by the Moroccans are. But some people have meat today. Some people don't have meat today. But it says in Shulchan Aruch. I'll take out the Shulchan Aruch.
Yosef, you're getting us in trouble. You one question like this, you're getting all of us in trouble.
Okay.
מה עשית לנו? הלו?
Yeah, but you know what? Everybody should enjoy the Shabbat, but the idea of mim'atim b'simcha. So I think somebody says it doesn't say no simcha. Be lessen.
Rabbi,
You have
there is
to always
also
have simcha. Always have to
there
have
is-
happiness, right, Dr. David? But it's the idea of mim'atim b'simcha. Good morning, good to see
Mike,
you.
that's for you, Mike. But Rabbi, there is also kind of, I don't know if it's a halacha or musar or minhag, but if there is leftover of meat from Shabbat, you're allowed to eat it on Sunday.
Okay, we have to look. Okay, we have to see more
because,
about those.
Because, not to lo lashchit, so you shouldn't have planning to have extra, but like if you have extra, you're allowed to eat it on Sunday.
Rabbi, this year we don't have
we have to see the opinions on that. Yes.
Rabbi, this year, last question because then you have to pray, I guess. But this year we don't have Shavuot Shechalbo.
Correct. You don't have Shavuot. Most opinion holds there's no Shavuot Shechalbo this year. So therefore, most things are permitted this year. Correct. Because since Tisha B'Av is commemorated on Sunday. Correct.
Maybe we're gonna have the Bet HaMikdash before, Rabbi.
That's Hashem. We should have the Beit HaMikdash. Okay, looks like they're praying over here.
Maybe
Okay,
we
Rabbi,
win
have a great
$1
day.
billion
Shabbat
in the lotto.
Chodesh Tov u'mevorach. Chodesh Tov,
Chodesh Tov.
everybody.
All the best. Yes, Chodesh Tov, everybody. All the best.
Bye.
Bye-bye.